Hello,
Hey!
hello.
What's up, guys?
Oh, so good to be back.
Yeah, and this is actually Pamela. This is actually your first time officially hosting
Yeah.
an Antler Queens after party. Woohoo!
Yes. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me that this is your first time hosting an after party because you've been with me for what, like 6 months now?
Yeah,
Something like that?
literally. I was because I did season 2, episode like 8 with you or 7.
Yeah. Actually, you've been with me for like 7 months now, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's so crazy. Anyway, if you guys don't know Pamela yet, this is Pamela. I'm sure you guys know Pamela because, she was like, she was around before. Like,
I
hey,
was
Wild Marjoram.
I was always getting in the videos. Talk, 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 talk. I'm
Yeah,
sure you guys have interacted with me. Wild Marjoram, I have your bracelet. Can't wait
yes,
to can't
I've
wait to
seen
check it.
it. I've
Mhm.
seen it.
It's a good one.
um, I'm gonna. By the way, I'm gonna post the link, the StreamYard link here. If anyone wants to pop in. But I am yeah, anyway, so Pamela's actually been with me for like 7 months now, starting with Cruel Summer. And it's so funny because it was quite a while before I even planned on asking you to join me for Antler Queens. Like I was still planning on going solo for quite a while. Like I was not giving up. I was not going to share those reins with anybody
Yeah.
after what I had been through.
Yeah, understandably, But I mean, that's how people have asked me like how I got involved. It's just such a fun story. I was looking for something so specific, and I'm hoping when we rewatch it, I'll be able to figure out what it was. I was like up late home with my parents in our house in Florida, and I had just been rewatching Yellowjackets for like the second time, and I was ready to watch like a bunch of theory videos, and I googled like something so specific, and I think it had to do with like the symbol and Lottie maybe, or just like I googled something in YouTube like very specific, and an Antler Queens video popped up, and I like love podcasts, and I'm Antler Queens. Well, yeah, but Yellowjackets is like TV is my career. It's like my love. So I'm like, this show has just completely like reinvigorated television for me. I think
Yeah.
it's just so excellent. And so I started listening like an embarrassing. I would listen to Kelly for like 6 hours a day. I'm not kidding. I was working remote, and I would like drive around places, and I just have it going nonstop. And I was eventually catching up, and I got to the point where she was like, "Oh, I'm looking for a co-host." And this is already January. I was late to that episode by maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I was like, well, I didn't have any podcast experience. And I was like, well, I'll apply. And like, why not? Like, let's just see. And yet we didn't connect from that. I like don't follow podcasts on Instagram, but I started when you were giving away the Yellowjackets jacket. I was like, I gotta get that. So I get on Instagram, I follow Antler Queens, and then I was seeing what was going on, and I was like, what? The podcast is over? Like, no, no, please. I love this podcast. And then so I just started talking to Kelly, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I can't remember like what it was that inspired me to. I honestly can't even remember what it was that inspired me to keep going. Like after everything that I had been through, I'm super proud of myself.
Yeah, you deserve to be.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super proud of myself that I kept going. And like if you guys don't know, some of you guys know what happened, some of you don't. Sorry, my camera's being goofy. But what none of you guys know, because this is nothing that like it's just something silly and stupid, and like, so it's nothing that I've ever had a reason to talk about publicly or anything. Um, what none of you guys don't know is that um I thought that I was going through this again a third time, and it completely set me into meltdown mode. And when I realized that that wasn't the case, I think that and what was funny is it was because Pamela and I were text messaging back and forth, when like the day that we were about to record our first episode together, and our text messages were out of sync.
Yes.
And
it was literally because the text messages were sending out of order.
Yeah, it led to like the most ridiculous misunderstanding ever.
Kelly was just like sending me messages being like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really hope you decide to do the podcast. And I was like, what? Like, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Like, I was like, huh?
She was so confused. She's like, why am I not doing the podcast? What? But yeah, it's so funny. So like it's so funny because I remember thinking at that moment when I thought it was happening a third time, I remember thinking like I was like entering meltdown moment, and at the same time thinking that feeling almost numb, and like that nothing could touch me at this point. Like, I'm like, well, I'm still gonna keep going because I mean I've been through this how many times?
Yeah, period.
Yeah. So somebody actually, I remember somebody making the joke on social media that like I made a like somebody said something like, or I think it was, I responded to, there was a podcast network that posted something about like what would make you stop podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I commented something like, after everything that I've been through, I think maybe the zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And like somebody commented, like saw my comment on there, one of my mutuals saw my comment on there and followed up and replied with, I'm not quite sure that would even stop you.
No. Nevertheless, she persisted.
Like, yeah, I would probably just be talking to the zombies.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me, zombies.
Making episodes just for the void.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to talk Yellowjackets and everything, but I wanted to talk to you guys about just 3 things really quick. Really quick, I promise. I know that I ramble, but so I've talked to you guys before about the fact that I kind of have like this eye condition that acts up sometimes. And sometimes I have to wear sunglasses, and my eyes have actually been like, they're actually like, it's funny because, we do A-Hole Queens lives on Mondays, and I'm probably going to be have to wear sunglasses tomorrow because my eyes are watering right now. Like they've been fine all day and they're totally watering right now, which means I'm probably going into a flare up. But so when they flare up, I wear sunglasses. And I decided that instead of wearing traditional sunglasses, I'm going to start wearing fun sunglasses when we record. I'm not going to wear these tonight because I don't need them. But Pamela sent me a text a while back. She's like, when I decided that I was going to have to wear sunglasses for one of the episodes, she's like, should I wear them too? And I'm like, no, you don't have to. But then when I was shopping for novelty glasses, I realized that you can buy a whole bunch of them in like packs for not a lot of money. So we're going to make it a thing. And if you join our Patreon and this goes for existing members as well. If you join our Patreon, we will send you, and unfortunately, I'm really sorry, guys, but this applies to people in the US only. If you're in the if you're not in the US, if you want to pay for shipping, we'll send them to you, but shipping's really expensive. So we will send you a pair of random novelty sunglasses. We won't tell you what they are. They could be heart sunglasses. They could be strawberry sunglasses. They could be pineapple sunglasses. Who knows?
And Cara said, "All hail the Antler Queen." Agreed. Yeah. Now let's make a cult of it. We're all going to be unified by the sunglasses. All
yes.
Together. Wild Marjoram asked, "How can we submit Am I the Asshole content to comment on? Email? Yeah, I guess.
Ooh, yeah.
Email us.
Yes. Yes, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
What's your email, Kelly?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Email?
Antler Queens podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah. So if you'd like to submit anything to us, Antler Queens podcast at gmail.com.
Yes, for sure. The other things that I wanted to oh my God, what is wrong with me? My ADHD is flaring up, I think, because I forgot the second thing. What is wrong with me? I forgot the third thing that I was going to bring up. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to bring up. So, oh no, the second and third thing are related. That's why. Duh.
Okay.
So, not to get too off topic, but I mean, we comment on a lot of things, and we're covering, we're starting to get into internet related stuff. And I don't know how many of you guys are obsessed with YouTube commentary channels like I am. But Pamela and people in the chat, are you guys familiar with the Lauren the Mortician drama? Pamela, do you know what about this?
Mm-mm.
Well, guys, everybody, people watching, let me know if you're familiar with the Lauren the Mortician drama. Anyway, so many people I watch have been covering this. Lauren the Mortician is a TikToker, and she is a petty little bitch. And her pettiness has sent me into an absolute fucking rage.
Whoa.
And the TikToker that she has gone after, I know nothing about. Her name is Caffeinated Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start checking out Caffeinated Kitty's content, because the way that Caffeinated Kitty has handled this situation is so fucking badass that I'm just I'm so inspired that I'm finally going to, it was like the tipping point for me that I'm finally inspired. I'm finally going to start my disability and mental health show this week. I started working on the script for my first episode. I have a name. I have a name for the show, for the podcast. It's going to be on all the audio podcast platforms as well as YouTube. It's going to be on a second channel, and you guys will but it will be linked on the first channel. The name of the podcast will be Where We're At, and it's going to be titled Where We're At because it's going to be about the whole philosophy behind it is approaching people where they're at. like,
Mhm.
and not talking at people, but talking to them and understanding people. There was like this whole message in the Barbie movie that incorporated that I think people missed.
Mhm.
Like with the mother and daughter, that I thought was really beautiful. Like women, there's so much sexism, and the mother and daughter both experienced different versions of it, but didn't respect what that they had to overcome different versions of it.
Right.
And had different things to celebrate and not celebrate. And but anyway, so I'm going to be starting that this week. So look for that, and I'm going to be sharing some very personal stories that will have to do with some of the drama that I've gone through on this channel, that I don't want to drag onto this channel. And but I just want to warn you guys ahead of time. There's going to be a lot of, just if you're not interested in hearing about disability justice and all of that stuff, just please don't follow my personal accounts. Don't follow that channel, and complain about like drama and all that stuff, because I'm going to be sharing personal stories that I have every right to be sharing on there, that I need a place to talk about, where I need a safe place to talk about those things. And that's why I'm doing that. And I don't want to drag that stuff over here. So anyway, end of story. Just want to let you guys know what's going on with that. I'm really excited about it. And I plan to bring on other people too. I really want to talk to, I want to make it very intersectional, and I want to put out a call. If you guys know any disabled people who would be interested in coming on my show, who are also either Black, trans, or have been in prison, because those three intersections have a lot of very compelling issues that relate to disability, and just kind of compound things a lot that I want to discuss. So if you guys know anybody that is intersectionally marginalized in those categories, please let me know if you think that they would be interested in coming on my show and talking to me, because I would be really interested in that. Especially, I would love to get somebody on the show to talk about, like, if they've been in prison, to talk about healthcare in prison. That would be amazing. Yeah. So anyway, let's finally get into the pilot. I'm so sorry, like, it's taking this long, but it's been a long time, and we've got a lot to catch up on.
Kelly, are we playing the pilot for them?
No. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah. So okay, the Patreon. No, the watch. Okay, so the way it's supposed to work is you can watch the. No, we definitely can't play the Patreon, or we definitely can't play the episode in here, because we would get kicked right off of YouTube.
Oh, whoopsies.
No, if you can watch the episodes with us if you join our Patreon, because they're private watch parties. So it's just kind of like, it's like having people over at your house. You know what I mean? To have a private watch party. So you can join our Patreon for $3.99 a month. It's just one tier. And you can get your novelty sunglasses. And we've been trying to get this going, to get the Patreon going with the watch parties, but nobody's been joining or interested in the watch parties yet. We tried to do it with Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, but nobody bid on that one. Nobody bid on the Yellowjackets pilot But if you guys want to join, yes, Wild Marjoram. Yeah, we would watch it with Discord. Basically right before we did the after party. If anybody, if just one person, bites for next week, then we will watch it together before the after party. Through in the Discord. So if you're a Patreon member, you get access to the Discord, and we'll play it right beforehand, and then just go right into the after party. And that will be every week. And you will also, if we can get these watch parties going, you will also be able to watch a movie once a week as well, and be able to vote from a list of movies. And that would be awesome, because I would really like to get the movie watch party started. That would be super cool. No novelty bear outfits. Bears could
I'll
be
bring
fun.
the bear costume back. I literally will. I mean, there is a bear in Yellowjackets. I should just be dressed up as that bear. You're right. You're
There
right, Wild
is.
Marjoram.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's God, M. Cara's got some great comments here. Like sorry I didn't get to putting them all up here, but yeah, it's thank you for all the encouragement. I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the episode. So it's been a while, since I had because I'm not constantly rewatching it. Like I was constantly rewatching it at one point, but it's like I eventually just needed to take a break, and so so I hadn't watched it in so long, and so it was kind of funny because I hadn't watched it in a while, and I felt almost nostalgic. Oh, hey, the Supreme Antler. We got the Supreme Antler Queen.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, great.
Rachel.
Great to hear from you, Rachel.
Hey, guys. I thought I'd do like a new name for the Yellowjackets. Switch it up.
Love it.
That we recognized your name, your voice immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, and that's a picture of my dog from when he was a puppy.
So
cute. What
Yeah.
a cutie.
Yeah, he passed away a few months ago. So I miss him.
I'm so sorry.
He lived a long life. He was 17 and a half.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. What was his name?
Cola.
Cola? Oh. That is cute. I like that. Oh, what a cutie. So, how about Kevin Tan in this episode?
Yeah, that's when I walked away from the pilot the first time, that's exactly what I said too.
Yeah, he had like a glow up from like stoner to cop. Yeah, I saw you guys got rid of all your Cruel Summer videos.
Oh,
did somebody at Freeform ask you to do that?
No.
Or they're like, get rid of these. You're the reason the show got canceled.
You're like, these girls keep asking for a 9/11 season of Cruel Summer. We need to shut that down.
They're not gone for good. They're
migrating.
Yeah. Did they send you an email being like, your channel is causing serious controversy for this network. Remove these videos or else.
Oh man. No.
Yeah. No, it's we digitally burned them as bad memories now. No, we're kind of moving things around. We're starting a second channel.
I see. Well, I'm sure the people at Freeform are happy because they're probably thinking we have to hear about that 9/11 season 3 one more time, I'm throwing out the computer.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
So much for, pushing the needle and starting conversations. I kind of thought that was the point of when they changed from ABC Family to Freeform, was to like be more edgy.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Not edgy enough for us.
Yeah. 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 No, it's I mean, what is kind of edgy is the fact that 700 Club is still
Yeah.
but they're stuck with them though. There's nothing they can do
I
about
feel
it.
like they'll get too much money from them to be like, we can't have you on here anymore.
No, they don't want them on there. They just can't do anything about it. They can't get rid of them. Because it's like it's basically when they bought Family. Wait, what was it? ABC Family? Yeah. When they bought it, it was like in the contract that they couldn't get rid of 700 Club. So they don't advertise it. It's just like a dirty, nasty secret that they.
Yeah, it's just the like gross after hours programming that still pops up, which is insane.
Yeah. They would love to get rid of it, but
yeah.
It's like can't. The cockroach that just won't die.
Pat Robertson is dead. It's still on. I mean, I don't even know who's hosting it now, but like, Pat Robertson's dead and it's still going.
Someone inherited the 700 throne.
They probably found a way to resurrect him,
Yeah.
Or like I saw something the other day. I think it was like in Saudi Arabia or something, but I guess some people there have cloned like 150 camels or something. So it just makes me wonder if they're doing that, then what are they doing with people?
Could you imagine 150 cloned Pat Robertsons?
Oh my gosh, that'd be wild.
Oh my God.
I feel like half of them would probably try to run for president or something.
Orphan Black, but with Pat Robertson.
It'd be like Orphan Black meets Handmaid's Tale or something. Plus, like Black Mirror, like put a little Black Mirror in there.
Orphan Black, but it's all like, but it's all Commander Lawrence.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, this first episode, it's like a lot goes on. It's like a mini movie almost.
It really is. I feel like, okay, so I studied writing for film and TV. I feel like this episode really has to go tandem with the second episode for like the full understanding Yellowjackets. Like if I like was sitting someone down and I was like, "Oh, you're watching Yellowjackets for the first time." Feel like you have to see both episodes,
Yeah. It's I don't like that the plane crash was interrupted,
Yeah, it is a crazy, like the ending with Shauna looking out the window is so scary though.
I absolutely love how Sophie Nélisse played that off. It was so perfect because
good.
Just imagine. I mean, have you ever woken up to a scene that was just like complete chaos and you like had to and you were just like not awake enough to deal with it and you like
not like visually waking up to something. I remember one time I was home a few years ago. I woke up because my mom woke me up and was like, something like, I don't remember if she said like, something's wrong with your dad or like your dad had but it was like, Pamela, wake up. We got to call 911. And I was like, oh, like the second I woke up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. But it was never like I woke up and there's like pandemonium or like an earth. Well, actually, one time I saw the movie Mother, which is very like, you know, confusing and things are happening. And
oh my God, that movie, I've never seen a movie that made me feel like that gave me like social anxiety watching it. Like that
oh
did.
my God, when she was just like, please, like, don't sit on the sink, like, please don't do this. And there's all these people in her house. I was like, oh my God.
I
Yeah.
got the feeling like I hate supermarkets. I get really
Uh-huh.
anxious in crowded supermarkets. That's how I felt watching that movie.
Which movie?
Mother.
Oh, okay.
It's very anxiety inducing. I watched that movie and then there was an earthquake while I was sleeping. And
Wow.
I thought you were going to say while you were watching Mother. I was like, oh my God.
No, but I kind of like, I had seen that movie and I was kind of like thinking about that. And, you know, like gaslighting or like not, you know, believing people is really like a theme in that too. And I like, it jolted my head awake, but like, I felt like I jolted myself. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't aware enough to be like, oh, it's an earthquake. But I was like, was it me? Was it, you know, and I was all mixed up in the brain.
That sounds like a potential movie right there. It could start with like people watching a movie and then there's like an earthquake and it like splits the screen in half and it falls on some people. And then it's like the aftermath of that. And maybe people find out like the earthquake was like some man-made earthquake. That'd be wild. If it's like
an inside job.
If it was like the people are against us. It's not nature.
Falling asleep during Mother and waking up would be weird. Yes, I can't imagine.
And have you guys heard about that president in Argentina? He's got 5 dogs, and 4 of them are clones.
What?
So he's into the cloning too.
That's so
fun. And I guess it's like in Saudi Arabia or whatever country it was, they're trying to have some camel uprising with those like 150 camels. So it's like, imagine that if like a few months from now, it's like camel clones like stomp however many people to death in Saudi Arabia or whatever. It's going to be like, uh-oh, what's going on?
Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, getting back to Sophie Newlees, like I've woken up during a chaotic situation too, and it was just it was a violent situation, and it was like I had to get out of bed right away, and it was like an emergency situation, and I had to get out of bed right away, and I just like I was jolted out of sleep, and I'm trying to process everything, and I was having really bad sleeping problems at the time too. So I was like on taking sleeping pills. So, you know, I woke up really groggy, and I'm like trying to process what's going. So I'm having like delayed reactions, and I'm trying to process what's going on while there's like not complete chaos, like a plane crash, but still a chaotic situation. And I'm like, and I totally got that feeling from Sophie Newlees.
Thank God she did pop that Xanny. Imagine if she hadn't. All the like even like if the people that were awake on that flight prior, I mean, they must have experienced so much turbulence or like whatever that is already alarming without it escalating to where like you know, Shauna woke up at.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, and I love the contrast too, because she it's like she falls asleep and she's just got that look of complete bliss on her face.
Yeah.
And you know, she's just,
and didn't her character say, oh, sorry if I interrupted. Didn't her character say earlier something about being nervous about flying?
Yeah.
Jackie kind of said something or like touched her hand to give her some encouragement, and then that happens. It's like, oh boy, it's like she had a right to be nervous then.
The 1994 Northridge earthquake, I jolted awake and thought I can hear my neighbor's stuff breaking, but it was my stuff. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Awful.
Oh God, yeah. Hey, Mrs. Odie, good to see you. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's like I just loved Sophie Elise is so great in this show. She really is so great.
Robbed for an Emmy nom. Robbed.
Yeah.
Yes, but all the girls are robbed of
all the girls are robbed. Have they decided, I guess, I don't know, either the Emmys
ageism.
Yeah, well, but
it's like reverse ageism in a way.
I think it is kind of an attitude of like, well, like what makes you think you deserve the honors that Melanie Lynskey or like Juliette Lewis deserve? But like I especially like Sophie Elise season 2. I'm like, she was working for that Emmy, baby. And I'm like, that okay, so you know, the adult actors are considered for the awards best actor, but then the Wilderness Timeline actors are only in supporting roles, which I don't think is fair at all. The story is split 50% one timeline, 50% another timeline. Like, I'm sure if I went through the pages, like literally, it would even out. So I'm like, I just don't think that's right.
Yeah, I agree. I see them all as like main, but like the two parts, like the main like teenagers and then like the main adults.
Yeah.
Like they both carry the story. Why is it, oh, you're older, so you're more important. Young teens, shut up. You don't get anything. It's like, come on.
To be honest with you, I think season 1, they were all pretty equally deserving. But season 2, it wasn't necessarily about the acting performances. I don't think anybody fell flat or anything. But the younger cast totally carried the show.
I agree.
Season 2.
That's why I feel like they need some categories for like younger people.
Yeah.
So that way you actually have a chance of getting something.
Yeah.
Like especially for like kids and teens, if they had like a best youth performance category, like why don't they have that? And they should have that for the Oscars too. I've never understood that. Because like when you have 10-year-olds against people like Leonardo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep, it's like you're just setting them up to lose. Like they're not going to win. Come on.
Yeah.
Like it's not fair.
Actually, Carrie makes a good point here. That's true.
It's the show.
Yeah, they put them in where they think they can win, pretty much.
Yeah. Which, like, hey, I get it. So then, you know, the showrunners are like, oh, well, we'd rather sweep categories than try stacking Melanie versus Sophie versus Juliette versus Christina Ricci versus, you know, all the other girls. But come on.
Well, that's why all these shows need a revamp and they need like better and like more diverse categories.
Yeah.
That's why everyone keeps saying like award shows are dead, award shows suck. Because it's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's like I could be half asleep and get all the winners right, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like I can just look and kind of just pick someone and then in like 10 seconds later it's like, oh look, I was right.
Yeah. And Liv Hewson, I remember, made a great point earlier or last year about how they really wanted, like, they weren't crazy about the distinction between best actor and actress because it excludes non-binary people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why it should just be like performer or performance. Well, that way it's like anybody.
Here's the problem with that. women and non-binary people are always going to be left out. It's always going to be cis men ruling regardless. Like, and I wonder how non-binary people feel about like, you know, and unfortunately I don't know that there's enough non-binary actors to have a category for non-binary actors. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Does someone have like a machine going? It sounds like there's some like clunky.
Okay, I was
machines.
gonna ask if you guys can hear that. That's my rabbit chewing on. She is like a little house made out of condensed hay. I'm sorry. Let me just take that away from her.
No, it's okay. I was just curious what that noise was. It was like I didn't know if like one of you had like a dryer going and something was stuck.
I was about to ask. I'm like, can everyone hear that? Or is it just me? She's sitting here, chomp. There's the house. It's that little thing on the floor, and she is in this green tunnel, just going to town at it. There she is.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna move it.
Ben's leg. We have Coach Ben's leg. Wait.
Oh, that part is wild. Yeah, like I saw some video a while ago. It was this guy. I don't know if they were like a survival expert or something. There was something like that. Either a survival expert or some kind of health person. And they were basically like, Misty should not have done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they said it wasn't good that she did that. And I think they mentioned how like, oh, he could have gotten an infection, like she could have killed him, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's kind of true. I mean, she seemed to know what to do. So, I mean, luckily that didn't happen. But like they made some good points there. Honestly.
I've took babysitters like CPR training twice. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that part bugged me too, because it's like, okay, I've done the CPR and all that, but unless I just blacked out, I don't remember ever having a part where it's like, here's your axe, and we're gonna practice cutting this dummy's leg off. 1, 2, 3, go. Like, no.
I feel
no.
I'm hoping we learn more about Misty's character and upbringing, but I really feel like she is truly kind of like a Norman Batesy kind of like girl, and has been interested in death, and is interested in like surgeries and like all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I think she just has morbid interests and is saying that, yeah, I took the babysitter CPR training, and you know what? Even if I took it twice, I still wouldn't know how to do jack.
Yeah, like that's not the kind of stuff they prepare you for.
Yeah.
Because who's thinking, oh, you're going to be in a plane crash and then be in the wilderness and then have to chop someone's leg off? Like, no.
So crazy. This episode had a lot. I mean, them in the soccer match, like I wasn't expecting to see anything grisly. And like anytime I rewatch it, even when I know what's coming, I'm like, oh, I gotta look away.
Yeah, that part's brutal. It's like, oh wow. It's like it goes there.
I will not watch that. I look away. I look away at that part.
Yeah, Coach Ben's leg. How are you doing there? Like, are you feeling all right? How's the recovery and everything?
Oh no, do we lose Coach Ben's leg?
Which leg is it? Also, is it the one attached to the body or the one not attached to the body?
And did you start the fire? Yes or no?
Oh no, I think Coach Ben's leg is having connection issues again.
Oh, so sad.
Oh man, at least we get to look at her kitty again.
I know.
Yeah, and
we always get the kitty.
And we
always get the kitty at least.
Day, what if Yellowjackets did like a 9/11 episode? Since we're not gonna get a Cruel Summer one, like what if one of the characters in like 2001 around September 11th was like gonna go on a plane to like visit family or do something, and then it like gets canceled because of 9/11. So then they start having like these flashbacks and like PTSD. Oh man, I feel like that would be interesting to see how it's like, look, this still is like, you know, kind of haunting them and like affecting them. Like I don't know. I know I sound
No,
obsessed,
I love it. You're
but I it's like we
9/11
were robbed of 9/11, you guys. We were robbed of an opportunity for YA 9/11. So Yellowjackets,
I
please do something
agree.
like that. It could be any of the characters. I don't care who. It could be anyone, really. But
Well,
like,
they're in the
yeah, it
area.
could be like one of them is like gonna go on a trip to either see family or even just like go to another state and like have a little weekend to themselves or something. And then it's like 9/11 happens, so they can't go. And then, it like triggers flashbacks for them and they're like freaking out in the airport and maybe they almost pass out or something. And then people are like, oh, what's going on with this person? And then they find out like who they are. So they're like, it's okay. It's okay. Like the plane didn't crash. You're safe. You're okay. And stuff. Because maybe they start like mumbling and being like, the plane crashed, the plane crashed, the plane crashed, help me, help, help. And then it's like people have to like help them and like calm them down.
Well, I mean, they're in the area to be like for somebody to be affected by it. I mean, they're in the like, they're not far from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Or New
Yeah,
York City.
Showtime. If you want to do that, I wouldn't mind. Since Cruel Summer wouldn't go there, maybe you can go there.
Yeah, just like, rapid fire. Who was where? What yellow jacket was where on 9/11? And how do they feel?
Well, Thaisa probably would have been at Harvard.
Okay. Yeah.
At the
So wait,
time.
do you think they're in school in 2001?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thaisa would have been at Harvard Law School at the time. I don't know. She's the only one who we know for sure the whereabouts.
Yeah. Did Shauna go to school or no?
I don't know if she.
I feel like she either didn't go or she did go and then like dropped out because I feel like one of them might have been a college dropout. So I feel like it's possible it could have been her because I think it's mentioned one of them like dropped out of college. So I could see that happening to Shauna. Like maybe she decides to go because it's like, I want to move on, but then she's just like, I can't handle it,
Well, Marjoram is just going to blame us every time a show gets canceled now. So Coach Ben's leg, aka Wild Marjoram.
No, we're not trying to get it canceled.
We're not.
We're just giving suggestions on how to up the ante of the show.
She sent us a private chat message. Are you trying to get Yellowjackets canceled?
Not, please. I swear to God, do not cancel Yellowjackets.
I mean, come on, the girls are eating each other in the show. If a simple mention of 9/11 is enough to cancel Yellowjackets, then I don't know what to say, you guys.
Casual
we need the
9/11 is what does it, and they're like, let's wrap this shit up. We can't keep.
we need the I need to bring up. I really need to bring up the clip. I need to find the clip and have it in here ready to go of Lois Griffin saying 9/11.
Yeah, so I feel like Van would have been working. I don't know if Van went to college or not. Because Van was like a free spirit. And then Charlotte, I don't know. She still could have been in Sweden or something. Since they all seem
probably
to say the thing about, because they all mentioned like, oh, isn't she in Sweden like getting help? Right. So I feel like she still would have been pretty young. So she probably would have been in a facility because of her parents.
Yeah.
Because they want her to be normal. And then, yeah, Shauna, maybe she would have been in college or maybe she would have dropped out by then.
College or at home. I think a lot of them would also just be in New Jersey,
And then Natalie, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be drinking somewhere,
Yeah.
Because she was like struggled with, alcohol. Misty, who knows where she'd be? Who knows?
Yeah.
She's the person that you got to keep tabs on her 24/7.
Yeah, she'd be going into New York being like, how can I help?
she'd be spying on Al Qaeda.
She'd probably be like, how much blood have people lost?
Oh God.
Like I could see her like trying to go up to people and ask them and be like, "What was it like when you saw the towers crash?" Like I could see her being one of those people, like really going there and just asking people all these questions, and they're just like, "What is wrong with you?"
The woman who wasn't there is actually about Misty Quigley.
Oh man.
Or I could even see if Misty was there, I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to take pictures and be like, "Isn't this fascinating, everyone? Wow." And everyone's just looking at her like, "What the F?" Like, she seems like the kind of person who would find something like that really like riveting and fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, this isn't riveting and fascinating. You need to run and get out of there.
Carrie had some really good comments. She said, best director is not split into genders. Notice how many female identifying directors have won. Really good point.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because directing is seen as serious business, where acting can be seen more as frivolous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that good old sexism.
Yeah. Carrie also said, I was thinking, why does she have an oven rack on her couch? But it's a bunny cage. Yes, I have a bunny running around over here.
It's your easy bake bunny oven.
Easy bake
bunny oven.
That
sounds terrible. Easy bake bunny oven. That sounds awful.
No, easy bake bunny oven. No, and I'm a vegan, so absolutely never. You know.
Yeah, I know. I was just joking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think there is just some medical stuff that we have to suspend our disbelief with Yellowjackets, huh? Just like period.
Yeah, just how Red Cross just prepares you for everything, apparently.
Yeah.
You can just chop off legs with ease after one course.
Oh, Coach Ben's leg, we can hear you.
Oh, you know, Ben Grills said that Misty didn't have to do that in a video essay he did.
Yeah, that's that. And I mean, she's just so like, okay, why do you think she was so ready to cut that part off? She was just excited to do it? Like
emasculate him?
Like,
I figured it was like adrenaline, maybe. Like she's so high on adrenaline that it's like, that it's like she's not thinking clearly because she's just on this like adrenaline high. And I think it's like, you know, she kind of has that like need to be needed. So I think she felt like, I'm going to like be this hero and I'm going to save him and I'm going to like, you know, be the hero everyone wants me to be.
It's also so interesting because like Misty is so ready to tell him that he lost his leg. And Thais is the one that's like, no, like don't do that. And I think it comes from like it's interesting also to then see her as a nurse, because I think like that desire to just tell him comes from like a very selfish place of being like, oh, so that you can see all the good I've done for you. Look how I've helped you. Versus like thinking of the other person who's like, hey, no, he's going to be in shock and he like doesn't need to hear that. We don't need to like, you know, bring down his energy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point of the nurse thing too, because it's like she has control of the people's like medications and everything. So it's like she basically kind of gets to like play fate. Like, do you get your medication today? Do you not? Who knows?
I like do think it's really funny when she tells that patient when she like, what's the bed, and she's like, don't fuck with me.
Yes, that's wild when she does that.
Yeah, doesn't she turn off the drip on that patient too?
I think she does. She turns something off.
Scare the kids trick-or-treating. She like turns off the monitor and is like, doctor, please, code red. And they like run out.
That was hilarious.
She's so dark. It's so funny. Carrie also said, talking about speak of the devil, Ben's leg in the chat with us. The blood that
I'm very popular.
Yes, you are. After a crush injury is full of toxins, recirculating that dead blood can kill him. Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it did look like hamburger.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so disturbing when you see his leg. It's like, they did so good with the special effects.
Yeah, it looks so bad. It's like, ooh. It's like you see that and you're like, oh, he's a goner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my boyfriend couldn't watch that because of this. That's because of that one scene. He could not watch it.
It's disturbing. Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't just kill him off the first episode or the second episode.
Well,
we can all dream.
They didn't want too many girls, I guess. They figured we got to have some guys here.
Well, they had that other woman, Coach Kat, in the original script.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
And then they just wrote her off.
Kat. And she was played by Amy Okuda, who has been in other stuff, but I'm not sure what.
So they casted someone and then they just cut it completely.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Maybe they talked about 9/11 too much and they had to get rid of them.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, oh, this would be a lot better if it took place in, around 9/11.
Yeah.
Is that
there was actually on our channel somewhere there is there's a Jason that I've done an episode with, and Jason is from Jason's from Podcastica, the cast of us, and Justin is from Out of the Woods. Justin from
Love
Out of the Woods. I love Out of the Woods too. I'm sad to say this, but I have not been listening to my favorite podcasts because it's hard for me to listen to them now if I cover the same content.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrified that I'm going to get influenced.
Yeah, I understand that.
I don't want it to seep into my subconscious and you know what I mean? I'm so
I get that.
deathly afraid.
You want it to be your opinion and not you just repeating what a bunch of other people have already said.
Yeah.
You want to have that fresh take.
Exactly. But I totally,
Again,
but I
that's
totally
why,
support
9/11, that could be a fresh take. I mean, come on now.
You're the only one. This is the only podcast talking about. We're the only podcast.
The podcast isn't even going to be on next week.
They all probably think we're obsessed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a good event that happened. I'm not some supporter or anything, but it's we all know it. Changed history and all of that, and affected a lot of people.
Oh my gosh.
The government's listening in and they're making Coach Ben's leg audio they're trying to sabotage us.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm probably on all the lists now. They're like, this girl, she's trouble.
Oh my Lord.
It'll probably be on 9/11, you better keep close tabs on this girl. It's no, I don't want to do anything. It's just, the part of the show is about, traumatic events and how they shape you and affect you. And I mean, I feel 9/11 was a tragic event that shaped a lot of people and affected a lot of people then and now. It's not just something we've forgotten about and gotten over. Same with Yellowjackets. So it's they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my God.
9/11, Yellowjackets, peanut butter and jelly.
I wouldn't know
man.
but whatever.
Yes, Carrie said, did you see the story about the plane in Washington that had a window blowout and the mask dropped? Yes, I follow someone on TikTok who was on that flight, and
that was the airlines one, right? American Airlines.
I think so. Yeah, and like part of they were only like 20 minutes into the flight, so they turned around. But I mean, there's footage that she took and posted that's like like the door of like the door panel of like the emergency exit, like part of it just blew off. And in the video, like they're flying, they're coming back. But like everyone is calm, and like in the comments, everyone is like, how are you so calm? And they're like, what else can we do?
Yeah.
Like, so everyone's just sitting there, and luckily no one was in that seat. But like, imagine if they were. Holy shit, that's so scary.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that is
like,
terrifying.
it's a miracle nobody like flew out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that could have easily happened. If part of the plane breaks off, then it's like you get yanked out, and then it's like, that's it for you. Like, no way you're surviving.
Anytime I think of like, window blowing out or something, it just, I always think of like one of the most haunting images from any movie for me is from Alive, of like people being sucked out of the plane. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Alive about the soccer team.
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. When did it come out?
Sometime in the 90s. Came out sometime in the 90s, I think.
Oh, well, I missed that one because I was a little thing back then.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't have been watching that.
But it's so like, okay, I heard a funny story so I'm a big fan of it came out in 88. Jeez. So I'm a big fan of the actor Josh Hamilton, and I have a huge crush on him.
He's the one with that weasel face that Pamela said, right? You said he's got the weasel face.
Did I say that?
What? I think I described him as playing a Weasley character on The Walking Dead. Maybe
I swear one of you said something about him having a weasel face.
No, I said he plays a Weasley character on The Walking Dead. Because he does.
You know what I think it was? I think Pamela said he had a narrow face. And then I think one of you said something about the weasel. I think I'm getting my stuff mixed up.
Well, he told a funny story when he was on The Cast of Us. And he told they interviewed him on The Cast of Us, and he told a hilarious story because he was in that movie. He was in Alive, and he told a really funny story about how like they had dinner with the survivors, and the guy that played his character, because he played one of the guys who actually survived, and they were at dinner, and the guy that played or the guy who he was playing sat next to him at dinner, and they were all really hungry, and it was taking a while for the food to come out, and somebody made a comment to him about they were all talking about how hungry they were and how long it was taking for the food to come out. And so the guy, the survivor, the real survivor who had to, eat his friends to survive, picks up a fork and turns to John Hamilton and pretends to start digging into his thigh with this fork.
That's so funny.
It's such a messed up sense of humor, but I totally appreciate
some of that Hamel thigh.
Hamel thigh.
Oh man,
that's hilarious. But yeah, I thought that was a really funny story. He told it much better than I did, but
Yeah, and then what do you guys think about the theory about the whole plane crash that, oh, it wasn't really an accident and it was like Lottie's parents trying to get rid of her and everything?
The first
yeah, that's a little messed up.
I really hope it's not Lottie's parents trying to get rid of her. The first time I watched it, I thought that Lottie's parents were going to be a bigger through line than they turned out to be.
Yeah. Like, I want to say I thought that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
how about you, Coach Ben's leg? Or is StreamYard still taking your voice away?
Are you there?
We might have lost her.
Oh no.
StreamYard just has it out for her.
I don't know why it never works like any time. It's so frustrating.
Oh no.
Who were y'all's favorite character just based on the pilot? Like your initial gut reaction of like, oh yeah, I like this person.
Oh, Natalie right away.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Right off the top.
I feel like I really like Jackie, even though Jackie's like kind of a bitch. It's like she's kind of a bitch, but still likable.
She's like your first like perspective. Okay, I think about this so much too. That the show opens with Jackie and oh my god, I almost said what's his face. How disrespectful. Jeff having what?
Put some respect on his name.
I know, excuse me, himbo icon King Jeff. But not at that point. I feel like he earns his himbo title as it goes on. But
Best
like
husband.
yeah. At this point now, he's just boyfriend.
Yes.
So when Jeff and Jackie are like, it just opens on that scene. I would revisit this pilot and be like, why do that, right? Because the show isn't about sex. It's not really about like Jeff and Jackie. Like, yeah, like Shauna's all tangled up in it, and like that's like part of it. And I think that is like a tremendous, like a boulder of guilt that sits with Shauna as a character forever. But it is like a very specific way to start the show. And okay, between starting it with that and then also that shot of Jackie turning around to look at Shauna and it's just like slowed down.
Yeah.
I really think that there is like chemistry between Shauna and Jackie.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
the thing too. A lot of people are like, oh, they both like secretly liked each other and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Jackie did, but I kind of feel like Shauna did. I feel like Shauna definitely had like a girl crush where it's like, I envy you plus I want to be you because it's like you're everything I'm not. Where I don't know if Jackie felt that way.
I also think like Shauna with Jeff is kind of like, well, if I can't have you, then I'll have the thing you have, or I want the thing you have because I can't have you.
I feel like Jeff was like her fun little play thing. It's like, I'll just play with you when I'm bored and then you can go away.
But I do just think like, you know, I think that basically Jackie faking an orgasm with Jeff compared to Shauna having that like awful vibrator scene in her daughter's bedroom. And the direction that Melanie Lynskey was given for that scene was like to give the most like depressing, like saddest orgasm sound you could make, like the most unsatisfied sound possible. So it's like, I wonder why they made that choice for these two characters. Also on the two different timelines, I think is very like, just
I
like,
thought it was odd they had her do that in her daughter's room. Like, why there?
I think it's just because, okay, I do think, go ahead. Go ahead, Kelly.
Maybe she's trying to relive her youth. I don't know.
No, I think it's because, okay, my theory is that, so part of it is that like she's stuck, her trauma has her stuck in like a certain like
age.
Yeah, at a certain maturity level, right? And Callie, I think, like reminds her so much of Jackie. And I think like her doing that is like basically her like kind of, it's almost like even though she has all this guilt over Jackie's death and everything, and so she's carrying all of this guilt over Jackie's death, and she obviously loved her. She was her best friend, but I think like, you know, she also hates that, and she kind of blames Jackie, I think, for how her life turned out.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a big fuck you to Jackie, basically, because Kelly reminds her so much of Jackie. That's just my interpretation of it. I don't know. What do you think, Pamela?
I kind of think that they're like that age. I think she is in Callie's room because she is, like you said, like all these girls have CPTSD, PTSD, some version of that. And I think that they are, but especially Shauna, I think she is, based on like everything else we see season 1 and season 2 happened to her, like all these really tragic things happened to her all within this same one age. I think she's really trapped in that age. I also think that, I mean, like sneaking around with Jeff at this time versus being married, stability, that's boring. Like, I think that age was like very like sexually like interesting or like engaging for her. And I think that that's like, she's not really like attracted to what her life is now, or like, you know, there's just not that like passion that there was when she was younger. But also I think that's all up in Jackie too.
Yeah, I'm surprised that oh.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I'm surprised that Jeff and Shauna still stayed together.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she just, if there wasn't a baby involved, wouldn't she just go to Brown and just leave Jeff behind?
That's a really good point.
I'm actually not. I think it's very I think it makes a lot of sense. I think the way Shauna's life turned out makes a lot of sense for her character, because I think that staying safe and just kind of like living a normal kind of bland existence and doing things that she shouldn't be doing on the side is her way of dealing with her trauma.
Yeah, I think it's also like when she came back, he was like the one thing that had like stayed the same. It's like everything else changed, but it's like he's still there. He's still his himbo self, and he's simple. He's like a simple guy, you know. So I think she felt like, I could settle down with you and do all that, and I guess like have a life with you, because it's like you haven't changed, and we have I guess, chemistry and compatibility to some degree, and it's like I don't have to change for you. And maybe after everything, college just felt like too much, and she just felt like I can't do that.
I also think that Jeff is the last tie to, because all these other girls, I'm not going to say any season 2 spoilers just in case there's anyone in our chat who is still on season 1. But all these other girls that went through the plane crash and like what happens with Jackie, like Jeff is the only person that she can share all the Jackie stuff with that is unburdened with the plane crash. So it's like he remembers all the because I mean, presumably, I think it's just based on this pilot and like what we hear of them hanging out. It sounds like it's the 3 of them, or maybe Shauna and some other guy, like a lot. So it's like he's the last person that remembers that before like all the bad stuff,
Yeah. It's and he doesn't and he's not gonna judge her. Because like he doesn't, and that's the thing. She wants a safe existence while she kind of like lives on the edge on the side, as like when she's in the mood too.
Dangerously safe.
Yeah. Like she wants to, exactly. Like she wants to kind of be invisible and have a pretty boring life.
Which I gotta say, like, I do think that is one of like kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost with Shauna's character. Point blank is like, I think she likes to point fingers at Jackie and be like, well, I was always in your shadow, and like you always like stole the spotlight from me, and like you were always the center of attention and I wasn't. And it's like, well, I think she has chosen that for herself, and like her adult life reflects that. It's like she chose the life with Jeff. She definitely could have been like a Thaisa, and you know what I mean, put herself in the spotlight. She chooses not to do it, and she chooses to like kind of live dangerously on the side instead, which is, I don't know, just interesting. But I think she does have a habit of really like pointing fingers at Jackie for that.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a one common flaw I feel like I've seen a lot of people point out, is that like she just kind of wants to use her past and like Jackie as an excuse for like why she is where she is now. And it's like, I agree. Like, and I get that obviously all of that affected her, but it's like, still, you can't blame something that happened almost 30 years ago for everything for the rest of your life.
Even like, even if it wasn't, even if we didn't go back that far, even if we were just like talking to like high school Shauna, like pre plane accident, I think she would still even be like, oh, well, like I never get attention because Jackie's doing this. And it's like, do you want attention? Are you trying to get attention? Maybe not,
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. So like,
exactly. Like if you never really say like what you really want and everything, then it's like, it's not really going to happen. Like if you don't stand up for yourself and say like, I want more attention, I want more respect, whatever, then it's like, well, it's never going to happen because like nobody knows.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, how, okay, so how people often like keep ending up, how a lot of times people will often keep ending up in abusive relationships. And they don't really know why. It's not that they're deliberately it's not like they're deliberately going out and looking for abusive people. Right. It's just that there's something in them. There's something that there's some kind of like unconscious
desire, maybe.
It's like, like they don't realize that they're engaging in behavior with others that's toxic to themselves. And they don't realize that they're doing it. And I'm just, I have some experience with this myself. Fortunately not with romantic relationships.
I feel that happened with Natalie. Like Natalie's dad abused her, and then like in the beginning, like probably the pilot with Travis, he comes off really sexist and just really full of himself.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you a little bit. Did you make that out, Pamela?
I heard her make the comparison to like Natalie, and just like I couldn't catch everything, but I think if I had to guess, like probably around Travis, right? And just like kind of
in the beginning when he was being sexist and just like held the gun up to her, like the rifle at her, and was just really aggressive. I'm like, why did she go for this guy? He's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
The way her dad was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Maybe she felt like he was a challenge or something. Like maybe she was thinking like he's a challenge. I like a challenge,
Yeah.
But who knows?
Well, it's like with Shauna. Well, I mean, with Shauna, like basically, it's kind of similar to somebody who kind of seeks out, or not seeks out. I'm sorry. Who continues to find themselves in abusive relationships. I think it's like she was always in Jackie's shadow, continued to be in Jackie's shadow, and never got out of it. I don't think she was choosing to keep being in Jackie's shadow. I think she just never really like figured out how to kind of be out loud Shauna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she didn't really know. Like she knew, I think because you could see it. You could see it with her character. Like you could tell that she wanted to kind of live her life more out loud than she was. But she didn't quite know how.
I think to me it was like confidence. She didn't have that confidence.
Yeah.
I think she wasn't fully comfortable with herself. And I feel like in a way she didn't have that confidence to like take up space and like speak up. Where I feel like Jackie did that all the time. And like I don't feel like Jackie apologized for like existing. Where I feel like Shauna's more like, oh, I don't want to like make a scene and da-da-da. Where I feel like Jackie's like, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to yell out the window that we're freaking champions, everybody. Woohoo, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think she wishes that she could be fearless like her, but she just knows that she can't because it's like she can't be something she's not.
Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that for sure. Yeah, and and Jackie just kind of had that like that natural confidence that didn't really, it wasn't necessarily deserved, but she had she had a mother, not that it wasn't undeserved, but I mean, it just kind of came out of nowhere. She had a mother that that boosted her confidence a lot. She was an only child. I still want to know more about Shauna's family. We've never seen any family members.
You know what I think about a lot in Shauna's bedroom? She has that oh my gosh. What are they what are they called? Something bright, and you put the little pegs in it and they light up.
Oh, light bright.
Light bright, thank you. She has the light bright and it says fuck you. And I just it's like, I don't know, I think that's funny, but also I do think she has a lot of rage and anger and like just maybe even resentment for herself for not feeling comfortable like in being who she is. And that's just all like, I was thinking about like my friend said the other day, like Yellowjackets is about female rage. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Cause I mean, I think it's about trauma, like period, you know, it's definitely about trauma, but I mean, under it is always like trauma. There's anger, and then what's underneath the anger is sadness. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Yes, it is about female rage. And I just think about that light bright, and I'm like, she's mad.
Yeah.
I love people who've done like commentary and stuff on this show, and they're all like, I support women's wrongs. I love that one that people say. It's so funny. It's like,
I
yes.
support women's rights and women's wrongs.
No,
Yes.
they just will say like, I support women's wrongs to show like they support women like not being perfect and making mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's
for
like,
sure.
yes, I agree. Like, why? Who wants to see perfect, stereotypical characters doing the same thing over and over?
Nicole Maines and I had that conversation. Go check out my interview with Nicole Maines, everyone, if you haven't already.
How do you
But,
spell that, Maines? Is it like Manes?
Maines.
Okay.
But yeah, we definitely plan on getting more cast members on the show. I'm
Who's that?
reaching out-
Nicole Maines. Who did they play?
Lisa.
In season 2.
Yeah. She was a blast. She was a hoot. I loved having her on. Like, I was a big Lisa fangirl. I hope she comes back for season 3. Like, I would love to see her again.
I'm blanking out on who Lisa is.
She was the one that was like bonding with Natalie
Mm-hmm.
the whole time in season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, you should have seen me when I found out that when her publicist got back to me and said she'd come on the show. I was so psyched because I absolutely love her.
I want to see more of Mari next season too, because a lot of people wonder, like, is she Pit Girl or what?
I know. I feel like she's like the most realistic theory I've heard just in mass overall for who Pit Girl is.
And I swear in the beginning, maybe I was hallucinating, but I swear in the beginning, it looks like some of the girls are with a Native American tribe. And if that's true, that there's a Native American tribe that was with them there when they have this fire and all that, then when are they coming into play? That's what I want to know.
When I saw just season 1 before season 2 was out, I really thought that they might, which now I'm like, oh, I don't think so. That they might have found civilization or might have found a way out and chosen to stay, or that there are other people. Like there are other people that they're doing this with. I don't know though. That was my like way early theories.
Well, here's the thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna kind of trip us up and you know, throw a twist in it and have it be like a different timeline.
Oh God.
And it's not Mari or whatever, then I think it has to be Lisa.
Oh shit.
And here's why.
Okay.
Because she was the one that was supposed to die.
Yeah.
And Javi was the one who was supposed to die. Or I mean, Natalie was the one who was supposed to die.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie eventually died. Lisa was the one who was supposed to die. So if they want to stick with that theme, then Lisa's going to die. If they bring her back, you know.
That's interesting. Or that they're doing it again full out, you know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like if I'm right and there was like a Native American tribe in that scene, then it's like I'm just really interested like when they'll meet them, what they're gonna learn from them, like how they come into play and everything. But
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe there wasn't a tribe and it was just like other people and I just assumed they were Native American because of how they were dressed. Because it looks like there's this Native American tribe because it looks like there's like a man behind one of them and then some people like near the man and like they look Native American. So that's why I keep thinking it looks like they were with like this Native American tribe doing
Well,
some kind of ritual.
that beginning where they're all wearing the masks is not the actual actors filming it. They had like stand-ins for everyone.
Yeah.
So that might have been it too.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but like there's another part there where it looks like there's a man and then other people by the man, like younger men or something. Or who knows, maybe I was just like hallucinating that. I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like I need to like watch that scene again, but like really slow it down so I can get like a frame by frame.
I was just trying to find
I swear there was a man there. It looks like there's a man there, like a very tall looking, like a very tall man who looks like he's Native American. Like it looks like he has like a headdress or something.
Oh man.
I never saw the man, but
Yeah,
I
I
believe you.
I
Hi,
did not
Colin.
do it either.
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean maybe this is one of
I want-
what's that phrase where you think you saw something but you didn't?
Oh, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is my Mandela effect and Roman Empire rolled into one. Although I guess people could say my Roman Empire is wanting some kind of 9/11
Yeah,
concept.
your Roman Empire is 9/11 television. Which, okay, wait, I swear to God, we'll get back to Yellowjackets, but I just have to say this, okay? And Wikipedia says it's true, okay?
About what?
Mamma Mia is a movie that is truly post 9/11. Meryl Streep was like, people need to laugh and have fun again. We're making Mamma Mia movie.
Wait, so that's what she said about it?
Yes. After 9/11, Meryl Streep was like, we need to lighten the mood. Let's make a Mamma Mia movie.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Meryl Streep.
Which also, like, when Mamma Mia came out like years after 9/11.
Yeah, didn't it come out in like 2008?
Yeah. Oh man. But anyway, I just had to share that with you. Yep, came out in 2008.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So wait. All right. I think I still think we have some new like Yellowjackets watchers, so I won't be too spoilery. But Nat, when they're at the I don't know, is it like a pep, not the pep rally, but like that like party, they're just like party they go to in the woods and she's on drugs and she sees Misty. That's how we know, for what it's worth, that the end of season 2 was always the writer's intention because it has to do with her death. What she's, you know what I mean?
I know a lot of people
right,
were
yeah, I
disappointed
remember
with that finale in season 2.
Oh
I
god, I
wasn't the-
sobbed.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it, honestly.
No, I wasn't either. And okay, if I can be really critical, so I sorry, my cat is trying to eat my leftovers. This is Peach. So I have an Emmys themed show. It's on live stream. Next Saturday, January 13th, 7 p.m. I'll have a link. It's also going to be on StreamYard. And we're doing a like 2 minutes of like all you need to know Yellowjackets, just like a Yellowjackets thing, and like all the other shows that are nominated for Emmys. So I was scrubbing through Yellowjackets. I was scrubbing through the second to last episode. And that's when things get like really thrilling with them like picking cards in the wilderness timeline, and it's like super tense. But then I go over to the adult timeline, and it's when like all the characters are sitting together talking, and which like I just think from a writing standpoint, them just like sitting talking, it's very boring. It's very like it's very like just uninteresting way to share. It's basically the characters sharing information with each other that we as an audience already know. I mean, I was scrubbing through it because I'm trying to like get to where I need to get the next line or, you know, whatever I needed. And it's like going on for 12 minutes. I'm like, this is that section in particular, I just don't find to be good screenwriting. I think that's just like a little bit lazy. And like, I was just like I was very disappointed in the writing of that specific scene because
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was like, it was just uninteresting to watch. It was very much like Misty like reading into everything and just magically piecing it all together.
Yep.
Where it's like,
It was
I don't know, awful. I would have liked to have seen all the characters kind of like talk to each other separately and then maybe combine or like see something and then it makes them think of this and then someone says something like I get like, you know, they're trying to wrap things up. They're trying to bring this like, you know, ensemble cast all together, everyone on the same page very quick, but like it just was not, that scene just wasn't fucking it.
I hated it so much. I thought it sucked. Really quick, I haven't added I haven't added them back in yet because my window is frozen because I brought something up and I can't I have to close out of it before I can bring them back up. So I wanted to tell you guys, I actually found out who Pit Girl is.
What?
Yes.
How'd you find that out? Who told you that?
I found the behind the scenes video.
Oh,
Do you want to see?
Yes,
yeah, I'm going to share. I'm going to share. Whoa. Rally.
Oh my God, it's Pit Girl.
Oh, poor dog. Need some booties. It's Pit Girl. Look at her. She's terrified. She doesn't know where to go. She's so scared.
Oh, Mari. This is the nicest I've ever seen Mari act.
Oh, look, he's going to get her. He's going to get her. He's going to get her.
No.
Oh,
yeah, she's
Run,
going
Banana.
down.
Run, Banana.
Like I was getting the ball, man. Now you
Run, Banana.
Really?
Oh, he got her. She fell in the pit.
Your husband
fell in the
saying
pit.
Ellie at the end.
Growly pushed her in the pit. Growly pushed Banana in the pit. Banana is Pit Girl, guys. Sorry.
Banana's Pit Girl.
I'm back.
She's
I
over.
think my
Welcome
phone
back,
glitched.
ladies.
I think my phone glitched and I accidentally got out of it or something.
Yeah, Coach Ben's leg DM'd us and said, what happened to Nat's other friend, the pull-up t-shirt guy? Yeah,
I'm
agreed.
guessing he was sacrificed to the wilderness or something. I mean, they had to do something to keep things going.
That scene is so funny when they're like, show us your tits, and he pulls up his shirt and she just like smashes that bottle on her car and runs.
He was so funny. I loved him.
He was funny.
Yeah,
I guess the wilderness took him. You know how the wilderness was.
Snatched him right up.
You guys, can I show you something else? Can I show you something else funny?
Sure.
I've talked before on here about how, like, about how I totally relate to Natalie and about how, like, there are so many instances on here where, there are so many instances in the show where, like, I pointed out, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally used to, whether it's young Natalie or adult Natalie, I'm like, I totally owned that, or I totally currently own that, or whatever. So I had to dig this up. So, that's what Natalie's wearing at the, at the Woods party, right? So this is me after a show.
Oh my God, Kelly. That's amazing.
You're like her doppelganger.
I got a little, like, I really like how the dagger collar on Nat's shirt in that scene in particular. And I was looking for just like a collared top that has just like the dagger collar. So it's just like a collared shirt with the collar that comes down like a lot longer. And I was looking for that, couldn't find it, but I found one that's just like you add it to a shirt. So
I love collars.
Yeah.
I'm so I'm obsessed with collars.
You should try Killstar, Pamela. Killstar has a lot of those type collars.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Good mention. Good mention. But yeah, I love
all
that
the cool
style.
stuff.
Yes, I gotta check it out. I keep telling I do comedy shows with my friend who watches Yellowjackets also, and I was like, we gotta do like all of 2 seasons of Yellowjackets in an hour. And I'm like, I swear to God, I'll cut my hair just like that.
That's awesome. That style is that hairstyle is totally in now.
That's great. I love it so much.
Well, plus later on it's gonna grow out, and it's probably going to grow out in a really horrible way.
Yeah. And it'll be perfect.
By the way, guys, so I told Pamela before we started recording that I was going to tell her why I have this mic tonight, and I never mentioned it.
I was going to say karaoke.
Yeah.
Karaoke?
No, although that would be an interesting.
You had an interview with someone.
That would be an interesting Patreon perk, karaoke parties.
Oh, I love that.
But so okay, like you can't really see anything. I've got the wrong chair. I usually have my lower chair because I've got 2 chairs. Usually got my lower chair because I like to show off my background. I've got my Natalie Funko Pop, which you can't really see back there. But so I've got my Chase Lounge back here. I'm trying to build a whole after show setup, and I've got the handheld mic because I'm going to be sitting over there for the after parties. But I can't sit over there tonight because I found out that my cord is not long enough, so I have to get a longer cord.
Oh.
But I'm setting up a whole lounge area, and I'm actually going to be like, I'm actually going to have like a whole aesthetic going on. Like even with myself. And I'm referring to it as Batty Kell's Lounge.
I love it.
And if anybody understands the reference, Batty Kell, why I'm referring to it as Batty Kell, you don't get a physical prize, but you will get my utmost lifelong respect if you understand that reference. It's a play on something else. So yeah, let me know if anybody
Yeah, so like what do you guys hope to see in the future with like Yellowjackets besides the potential 9/11 episode?
Let's
I want
see.
Lisa back.
I
want them to magically resurrect Natalie.
Yeah. I would like to see more flashbacks of them getting discovered slash like coming back to civilization. I'd like to see more of that. I want to know more about Shauna's family. I really am dying to know more about Van's relationship with her mother, because that montage we get of everyone waking up, which I think is so great, and Van slapping her mom in the face to wake her up and dangling the keys. Like, they obviously have such a fraught relationship, and Thaisa like alludes to this a little bit in season 2 when they're talking.
I mean, isn't her mom an alcoholic?
Yeah. I that's
what I
what I
thought.
take it to be. But I mean, there's just like nothing very specific about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to learn more. I want to learn more about everyone's families. I know what I don't want to see.
I want to
Oh,
learn
no.
more about Mari, like her backstory. I know a lot of people don't like Mari because, yeah, some of the stuff she says is annoying. But I
Yeah.
feel like she has like a reason for being there. We just don't know much about her. So
Yeah.
I'd like to learn a little more about her and her background.
I want to say, I meant to say this earlier and I forgot to mention it. I have a theory about Shauna's family.
Okay.
I really believe that she's the oldest of like multiple siblings. I think she has multiple siblings.
I think so too.
And I think she's the oldest. And because she comes off as very like, she has oldest child energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that makes me think that she has siblings is the attic room. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like having an attic room is something that you wouldn't have unless you had siblings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, of kind of being like, yeah, especially like only the eldest sibling is going to get trusted to get a room in the attic.
Yeah, like but you also don't, you also wouldn't necessarily feel the need to like get away and have your own, you wouldn't necessarily feel the need for that privacy as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. But oh my gosh, you're gonna watch the whole show tonight? Give me the whole season 1 tonight? That's the last.
That's wild, Kaiwan.
It
Yikes!
sounds like he's gonna watch both seasons.
Oh my gosh!
Kaiwan said, "Am I crazy?" I mean, not to us. We love it. I would. I mean, I'm always down to sit and rewatch Yellowjackets. I feel like I've seen the entire show through probably like over 5 times.
Oh man. There was somebody who. Oh, hey, Carol. Oh, that's so nice. You know what? You have no idea. Same times a million. Yeah. I am so depressed not doing these lives. I'm non-functional. Okay, that's why we needed to start doing these again. Shauna's attic room earlier,
you guys.
Oh, reminds you of something in the future. You don't want to spoil.
Yeah, I've missed you guys. Have you guys missed us?
Oh my god, of course we have.
Talking about our ideas and theories.
Oh, reminds you of something yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Season 2.
And then also, like with Van, I want to know, like, is she gonna survive or not?
I think so.
Because if she dies from cancer, I'm just gonna be like, I give up.
They better not do that to us. I'm gonna be so mad if they do.
So, okay. Talking about like stuff that we don't want to see in season 3.
Yes.
One thing I definitely don't want to see,
Mm-hmm.
and I will fucking rage if this happens.
Do.
So one of my favorite Twitter mutuals, he's great, love him, but said something about like how he was thinking about when the cabin burned down. After the cabin burned down, he was thinking about how Javi was talking about his friend, insinuating that maybe it wasn't Ben, maybe it was Javi's friend. Like whoever this mysterious friend is.
Yeah.
Maybe someone from the possible Native American tribe that's there. I don't know. You never know.
Okay. And my response to that was, I definitely don't want that. Not necessarily because it would be too outlandish, but because I spent 2 seasons all by myself on Team Benbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And now I finally have everybody with me.
Yeah, we gotta eat him. He's gotta go, man. It's time to get him.
Die, Ben. Die.
That makes me wonder, like, what do you guys think when he did want to, and then like Misty like stopped him?
Oh, I mean, I thought that was such a funny scene when she's like, I'm gonna tell everyone you're gay.
Like, she's just going off like, I'm gonna tell them this and that, and it's like, girl, people are not gonna believe all these different things they're saying.
She's outrageous.
I loved that scene. I thought Sammy Hanratty was so great in that scene.
She did so great. She did so great there. She's such a great Misty.
She does a great job of doing like an unhinged person.
Oh my god,
when Misty is like unhinged to a T.
When she's cheering for everyone in the pilot, like on the sidelines, and is like, yes. I was like, oh my god, like that energy that she like brought to that is just everything. Okay, real fast, backtracking, and then I'll talk about everything I don't want to see in season 3. Every choice they make for Misty is very I think it's like comedy gold. She offers Nat a coconut LaCroix, which is notoriously, I mean, I like coconut LaCroix, but that's like everyone's most hated flavor.
Coconut LaCroix.
Oh, excuse me.
It almost sounds like you're saying LaCroix.
She offers her that. She's always playing not only musical theater in the car, but specifically Cats, which is very disliked. Again, I like Cats. So see, this is why I like Misty Quigley. I'm Team Misty. See, episode 2, like I was like, fuck yeah. Like I'm Misty Quigley, all in, like she's my girl.
Didn't she play Wicked too? I swear in one of the scenes she's playing like a song from Wicked.
She's I haven't heard any Wicked. She definitely played Cats, and then
Phantom of the Opera Overture.
Phantom of the Opera a lot, yeah.
Yeah. The Overture.
He does have true thespian energy. Like she's like a true like musical theater person too, which musical theater people are like so despised. So I just feel like every choice they really make with Misty is very like comedic, and all of those jokes land really well. Just like kind of like in a way that they do with Randy, like everything with Randy is fucking funny. And like it's just same with Jeff too. These are like our three funny characters, and I'm like, good job guys, like you nailed the jokes. Things I don't want to see. I don't want to see Callie decide she's a killer too, and she wants to be just like her mommy and murder people. Because I really feel like that's coming. And listen, if you're in the writer's room and you stumble across that video, cut that shit out. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't want to see her have any more relationships with cops either. Like, no.
No more cop leads. Like, cut that shit out. Also, you better not kill anyone off or I'm gonna murder you. And I do not want to see some timeline jump where Ben is okay. There better not be some multiverse shit. Because if it turns into some like Marvel like time continuum thing, I'm gonna strangle somebody.
So, like, if they show us something where, like, it's the present day and we see that Ben's in some, like, old folks' home or something in a wheelchair, how are you guys going to feel? You're going to be like, no.
So pissed. I'm going to be pissed off. KO. Like, oh. When we saw, like, the Ben scenes in season 2 and there's that glitchy effect on some of like what we see, I think it's some of my read of that choice in post-production is I'm like, well, maybe they really wanted us to understand like, hey, this isn't like from the past, this is like his imagination, which like that might just be like a director's choice, but I'm worried that it is going to be something kind of similar to like that Lottie's dream where it's like maybe you are kind of in an alternate reality or something. And I just don't fuck with that. I don't like that
That's
shit.
what the glitch has freaked me out because I was like, I'm like, no, I don't want that. No. I'm like, that's what I was worried about. Like, I don't want that either. I don't want that either. Also,
I feel like most people are like ready for Ben to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been ready for Ben to go since episode 2. Ever since he lost his leg, I was ready for him to go. That sounds really ableist of me as a disabled person.
It's so funny how against Ben you have always consistently been.
Yeah, I'm not a Ben fan.
What is it about Ben that you don't like?
I just don't like that it just okay, first of all, I have to say that like I thought he was a fairly boring character in season 1. But I think Steven Kruger, I think they gave him some stuff to work with this season, and I think he did a great job. Agreed. So nothing against Steven
he only
Kruger.
has one leg to stand on, Kelly, so you have to be understanding.
Well,
he can only carry so much weight on his shoulders with that leg.
Oh my gosh. But he is Steven. No, it's nothing against Steven Kruger. I'm actually really enjoying Steven Kruger's performance. What I don't like, and it's not, I don't necessarily think he's a compelling character, but it's not even that. It's that I am so annoyed that they didn't have to cut off his leg, and I'm triggered by the fact that they so easily could have hired, and they could have cast an amputee to play him and either put him in long pants for the first episode or Like if they really wanted to show him, like to show the difference, they could have had the amputee actor, use a prosthesis and just, green screen a realistic looking leg
Mhm.
on them for the first episode. It was one episode, they could have cast an amputee. It just bugs me.
Yeah, or
Because
like they could have just had him have a lot of scenes where he's sitting down, so it's not
Yeah.
like obvious. And
Yeah.
then when that happens, it's like, okay, he lost his
Yeah.
leg.
I
and, like,
prefer
Yeah.
just an actor without a leg.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah,
that
and
woman on Fall the House of Usher.
Mhm.
I keep meaning to watch that, and I haven't
Yeah,
yet.
same. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it just really bugs me because like there's so much. The majority of disabled people and this goes across all professions. The majority of disabled people are able to work and want to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The reason that most disabled people don't work is not because we can't. It's because
Lack of
discrimination.
opportunity.
Yeah, I don't work. I'm on SSDI because of discrimination. It's entirely because of discrimination. I was forced out of the workforce, and and that goes for acting too. Like they totally could have hired an amputee actor to play that role. And
The new Hunger Games movie, that prequel, one of the tributes is an amputee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I was reading something the other day, like it was kind of a review / breakdown of the movie,
Mhm.
and they were saying how like with like the tributes like in the games, like they made them like more diverse. Like one of them has Down syndrome, one of them's like an amputee, and then I think some of them they like I wouldn't say they race swapped them because I don't think they really even went into that much detail about like their background anyway. But like, and like, yeah, I thought it was cool that they did that, how they made it like more diverse.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to say I don't have a problem with something like The Walking Dead, where it frequently happens on The Walking Dead, where a character that's been on the show for a long time suddenly loses a leg because they get bit by a zombie.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with that. Like the character's been around for a long time. Suddenly they lose a limb. I don't have an issue with that. That wasn't a casting choice. It was a narrative choice. Like, yeah, no problem with that.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
I also suppose with the Hunger Games, maybe some people could say, oh, well, it's ableist that you have people who are, disabled or amputee and they still, die anyway. And it's like, I guess you could say that, but at the same time, I think it's still good they tried to make the cast more diverse and it wasn't just like basically
Yeah.
all white able-bodied people
Right.
and then a few people of color, so that way they can be like, well, we have a few, so you can't cancel us today. Because it's like, well, even though those people may have died, they still were a part of the movie and they still
There's
did
there's
have a
still
role.
representation.
They didn't just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so basically that's why I hate Coach Ben. It has nothing to do with Steven Kruger or his wonderful performance as Coach Ben. I think he does a great job. I don't hate the character himself that much. I don't think he really adds that much to, like, I guess he adds a little bit because it's kind of like there is some kind of level of interest there as to,
yeah,
like
because he's a gay guy in the 90s, so
no, it's like the tether to
he's
normalcy,
got that
I guess.
edge, I guess, if you want to
Yes.
call it that.
I agree with you, Kelly. It's I think that Jackie and Coach Ben are the two like tethers to normalcy. And
Yeah.
with the ending of season 1, it's like, okay, now we've completely disconnected from reality. If you're not in it, you're not in it, and those people kind of scooted off.
He's straight up worse than all of them.
Yeah. And then, I mean, end of season 2, it's like, okay, I mean, so, okay, writing standpoint, this is what I think. I think Coach Ben is there to be the tether to normalcy. Post Jackie, you know, he's still that tether, and it's getting thinner and thinner. I also think he's there to be a foil for Misty's character. And that's, you know, what he was given through season 1 is like, hey, Misty's, you know, gonna flirt with you, and you know, you gotta figure out how to get out of this predicament. And then season 2, like, I think they did a good job of giving him a little bit more to work with, because season 1 really did feel like it's like he's there for Misty to say, you know, for Misty to do things to, or for Misty to like say things to, and he has to be like, Misty, you know, which is like, okay, you know, it's all right. But yeah, I think he's really run his course as a character. And for season 3, I mean, I think we're probably going to see him go. Or they're going to do something crazy and be like, actually, just kidding, he's alive. And I'm going to have a conniption. Coach Ben's leg brought up on DM. Ben and Ty got the glitchy effect. Ty got that glitch effect looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I did not I totally missed that. So as far as like what that effect means, I guess it could be to signify, like, if we're looking at every time they've used it, right, to be like, okay, what is this supposed to mean? Maybe it just means something that's like not true, or not real, or maybe not real to us.
Yeah.
To our reality.
Okay, plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how like there's the, you know, there's the theory that like reincarnation, like when you're reincarnated as somebody who died on the same day that you're born.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Ben dies in the wilderness,
Mm-hmm.
and comes back as either Lisa or Sarah Dusha.
Oh, totally. I could totally. It's kind of giving like a final destination.
Maybe he comes back as Callie, and
Yeah,
that's why
that's
Shauna
what I thought you
hates
were
her
gonna
so
say.
much.
Callie would be too young. Callie would be too young.
Callie's
It,
too
it was delayed. It was a delayed reincarnation, so that way Shauna could suffer more.
I like my family used to joke that I'm the reincarnation of Howard Hughes, because he died the day I was born.
Oh God, I really hope you're not the reincarnation of Howard Hughes.
Yeah, that would be a little fucked up.
You got some manslaughter charges against you, girl.
I know. Yeah.
You got some plane crashes for movies to account for.
Yeah. I and you know, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna end this life too the same way. I'm gonna go live in a movie theater and just hide out there one day.
AMC it, baby.
Yeah, for me with like Coach Ben, I felt like he existed because it's like I felt like they thought, oh well, they need to have like at least one adult there, because if you have all these girls there, people are gonna be like, well, why wasn't an adult with them? They're all minors, da da da. And I also felt like they wanted to have like a gay character too, although they have multiple gay characters. So I think, but maybe they felt like having like a male gay character would like add more depth versus like lesbians kissing in the woods. Ooh, you know.
I it gives Misty, it's like, okay, so there's only one guy, right? So it is true. It's like, okay, so it's gonna be Travis and then like shuffle through the different girls, which can be boring. We have one set of soccer players that's already, Ty and Van are already a couple. And it's like
And obviously Javi's not going to be with any of the girls.
Right, Javi's too young. And so it like gives their like a little bit more room, and it's like, who's gonna go for that? Misty. And I mean, that's fun. But I do think they left an adult chaperone within the survivors to be like, look, like you do. I mean, when we see them doing like the seance in the attic of the house, like there is a chaperone, and look how the control is no longer in his court anymore. Like it's a better way to represent like how little he has over them in this like totally brand new setting that's like away from society. Because I mean, also like, unfortunately he's disabled, and so he doesn't have the same ability as them, and therefore like they kind of put him down on the totem pole, and also he's just like values wise towards season 2, I mean, he's completely outnumbered. Everyone wants to do this, Coach Ben wants to do something else. Too bad, so sad. You know what I mean? Whereas like before it's like, oh, I'm your teacher. Well, that doesn't matter anymore,
Yeah, it's like all rules are out the window at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what's interesting is that like with the original pilot, the so Kat, the teacher that was originally scripted, and she like was supposed to go with on this trip. There was there was actually a scene. Paul, Ben's boyfriend, was actually in the pilot episode. But there was actually a scene where Ben and Kat go out for drinks, and this was after they asked her to go on the field trip because they thought it would be good to have a female chaperone since it was a female soccer team.
Yeah.
And she and Ben went out for drinks, and she gave him a blowjob in the car. Like, she was coming on to him really strong.
Which character is this?
This was Kat, the character that was like totally hot, the female character. And she was coming on to him.
Out then?
What's up?
She was written out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like,
and
Kat?
She was like coming, she was all over him, and she was coming on to him super strong.
This is giving me Cruel Summer vibes with Martin Harris.
But he didn't he didn't know how to handle it, and he didn't want to like come out and be like, I'm gay. He just he just kind of let her. And then he went home, and he went home to his boyfriend, and you saw his boyfriend, and like you found out in the next scene that he was gay, and he had a boyfriend that he lived with. But throughout the pilot, it was evident that like she had a thing for Ben, and she was like very aggressive in her pursuits toward Ben. And I wonder if part of the reason that they wrote her out was because they wanted to heavily develop that as part of Misty's character,
Yeah. I wonder if that female teacher was going to be one of the survivors.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think having 2 adults, okay, so I think if the plane crash happened and Ben was left as he is, he has one leg. But then also there was another adult, like even if Travis's dad made it, that would completely change the show. That would completely change the dynamic. Like, it would not be the same show we have. And I don't think it would get as uncivilized as easily. So I think that's kind of like a disservice to the story. You know, it's like we just need one adult and you know, and he's disabled. Oh shit. You know, now it's all up to these girls and they like don't know what they're doing and now they want to eat each other. You know, and also I feel like I think it was probably the right move to omit Ben's story from the pilot because it keeps it more grounded and focused on the girls who are the main characters. I mean, they don't even have enough time in the pilot episode to finish the plane crash. You know what I mean? So like, don't do a whole other storyline and a blowjob that like might have issues of consent kind of around it. It's like, just cut it out.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to see those kind of scenes anyway, so it's like better to just skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But you guys, like, I'm kind of hurting. So I think that we've been going over 2 hours. It's been a long one. So I'm so happy to be back. We're gonna be doing this every Sunday.
I heard some people ask if you guys could do it an hour earlier. I don't know if you saw those comments.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there are a few comments about that earlier in the chat. Where people were saying, would you guys consider having it be an hour earlier?
Oh.
Well, you know what? We are well, okay, here's the thing. So I just realized. So, you know, we just decided this. We just decided on the day of the week for this. The other day. And I just realized, like, just about 10 seconds ago that we're probably going to have to change the day.
Wait.
Because unless we want to take a pause, because the ones who live starts up in February.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing the ones who live
okay,
for 6 weeks starting in February, at the end of February.
Oh,
So,
okay. So we need to move the date and potentially time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing so I don't know, maybe we'll keep this on maybe we'll keep this on Sunday nights for now until the ones who live start. And then switch to a different day of the week.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because I like the idea of keeping it on a Sunday night, on a regular Sunday night schedule.
Oh, my audio does work. Okay, cool.
But yeah, I like the idea of keeping it on a regular Sunday.
Baffling to itself.
Maybe it's the Antler Queen who's messing with your audio and everything, Coach Ben's leg.
Maybe
they don't want you spreading the word, you know.
But
you know, I really don't miss Coach Ben being separated from him.
Wow.
he was just bad news.
He was weighing you down.
I'd rather be in the cold ground.
I'm glad that we could hear you from from so far underground. Like, it's, you know, you get it's great that your audio works so far underground there.
Yeah.
In the Canadian wilderness.
Yeah.
In the Canadian Rockies.
I'm just projecting my thoughts. I don't have a mouth. I'm a leg. Well, I'm a hamburger leg.
Or are you in Misty's house somewhere?
Oh God, no. She unburied me and took her with me. She took me back home. Now I'm in a refrigerator. Still.
Oh man.
Takes a little nibble every
You're
once in a while.
you're in Misty's nightstand.
A jerky?
She grounds you up and keeps you in a bracelet, in a hollowed out bracelet.
No. Shit.
She made a necklace out of the muscle.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Grounded it up and
there's some
made
bones and
a
there's still some
necklace.
bone fragments.
Oh man. Yikes. So guys, before we jet, bad word to use for anything related to the show. Before we jet, I just wanted to remind you all about our Patreon, $3.99 a month. And I think they're still doing a week trial right now. $3.99 a month, and you will get you'll get access to our Discord, which gives you access to our watch parties, which is like, we'll do one series a week and one movie a week, which you get to vote on. And if nobody votes, then we'll just play whatever. And you will also have to vote on the day and on the day of the week. And if nobody votes, then we just choose. But if we can get this going, if we can get the Patreon going, if we can get some activity in there, we have so much fun stuff planned.
Yeah.
You'll also get a pair of fun sunglasses. Again, you don't get to pick. We'll just send you like whatever.
The Antler Queen decides.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm working on some other really cool stuff for the Discord that's going to be a surprise. It's just some fun stuff that I don't want to reveal yet, but we're also still working on the website. But that's been a work in progress for a while, but there's just been a lot going on. But yeah, visit our Patreon, patreon.com/cyborgqueenmedia. And also look out for the second channel, which should be going up this week because I'm recording my first episode this week for my disability and mental health show, which I'm really, really excited about and nervous about. I'm kind of terrified. Also, A-Hole Queens is every Monday. Our A-Hole Queens Live is every Monday. We will also be uploading regular episodes. We'll go back to our regular upload schedule again this week. We took some time off for the holidays, but the regular upload schedule will be back this week. But our live schedule for A-Hole Queens will go back to regular tomorrow. So join us tomorrow night. At what time do we go live on Mondays? Why am I? We took too much time off, man. The
Are
holidays.
you still gonna interview Braden De La Garza?
If we can get him.
Pamela.
We're reaching out. We're reaching out. I'm serious.
Yes. I
We're
sent an
waiting to hear
email.
back.
I sent an email to his rep, so hopefully we'll hear back.
What do you think he'll say about a potential 9/11 season 3?
I'll be sure to ask him. I'll be like,
I'm curious because you've said, Pamela, you've mentioned it to some friends or something. So it makes me wonder, like, what have people said when you guys have mentioned this?
well,
A two-person cast starring.
I want to hear what people have to say.
A two-person cast of Cruel Summer season 3 starring Braden De La Garza and Pamela Mora.
we're the 9/11 cats. Oh my god.
Your neighbors who both lose on in 9/11 and join a support group.
Oh my god.
And meet each other there.
Oh man, it'd be a beautiful show. Let
And
me
then
tell you
one
that.
of you does something to screw the other over, and you become enemies.
Oh
So sad.
Oh
And then
man.
somebody has to die at the end because
Yeah,
know.
naturally.
Oh man. Oh, also, our Walking Dead rewatch, which I mentioned to you guys before, that is on hold. We were supposed to be starting that soon, but Dawn is moving. Dawn is in the process of moving. She just bought a house, so congrats to her. Yay.
Aw.
But that's taking up a lot of her time right now. So that is it's kind of a bad time to start that rewatch right now. So it would start, the start of it would run really close to The Ones Who Live. So we're gonna start our Walking Dead rewatch after The Ones Who Live is done. So
is she moving to like a different part of Scotland?
Is she? No, she's just they were renting and they just bought a house.
Oh, I was just curious.
Yeah. So it's, but yeah. So it's both an exciting and stressful time, and but
Well,
you know,
I hope there are no zombies who complicate the move for her. No planes or amputated legs causing trouble.
Yeah, fortunately I think she'll be safe there. Let's, knock on wood. But yeah, so that's on hold. We're still trying to get our schedule set for H Block Queens, or Wentworth podcast. We're still trying to get that started because that's been on hold. But we'll have all that soon. Like, stuff just keeps getting, it's been a little chaotic. When you're dealing with multiple schedules, people with busy lives, it gets a little crazy. But it's all still planned. But you guys can always find us here on Sunday and Monday nights. And we'll be doing Yellowjackets until The Ones Who Live starts, and then we'll figure something out. We'll figure out another day of the week.
Yeah, we'll just move dates.
Yeah. But yeah, join our Patreon if you want to if you want access to some fun stuff and some sunglasses and watch parties. And it'll be fun. And again, if you guys know any disabled people who would be interested in appearing on my show and who are interested in talking about intersectional disability issues, particularly trans disabled people, or formerly incarcerated disabled people, or Black disabled people, that would be awesome. I would love to I would love to have them on the show. Or perhaps there's anyway, if there's another category that I haven't covered, like other disability issues that maybe I'm not thinking about, that that people don't really know as much about. Maybe there's a profession or something that comes with a lot of disability issues that that I'm not really that people aren't really aware enough about, that there needs to be more awareness for. I'd love to hear more about it. So definitely send me an email about that if you if you know somebody, or if you want to have somebody send me an email about it. You can reach me at, we're still at Antler Queens podcast at gmail.com. Then we will have a new email address once the new website gets up, but for now we're still at Antler Queens podcast at gmail.com. But so glad we're back. We've missed you guys.
Yeah,
so
we
much.
really have.
So you have no idea. So excited. And I'm still bummed that nobody has caught the Batty Kel reference yet.
I thought you were gonna say you were bummed about no season 3 for Cruel Summer.
Oh my God.
I mean, just eternally bummed by that.
Yes. And you know,
It's a given.
I had a feeling that for sure Coach Ben's leg might get the Batty Cow reference, but maybe not. But I don't know. Maybe if you sit and think on that one for a bit, because you're of the right age. You're of the right age for it. But yeah, if you were born in the 70s, then you might get the reference. But anyway, we're gonna fly. And we hope to see you guys either tomorrow night for A-Hole Queens, or perhaps if not tomorrow, then next week for Yellowjackets episode 2.
Yay.
Good night, guys.
Night.